I should really get a new intro. Hello everyone, my name is Duncan and welcome back to StoneHearth Alpha 22. And as I said in probably one of the previous few videos of this specific series with the city of Roquefort, I'm gonna do a bit of a mix of actual playing the game, like actually showing gameplay and going through the game, and doing some let's builds. And previous two videos would be a prime example of the let's build or the let's plays. And this will be a prime example of a let's build. So we are currently on an island, and being on an island has a few problems. One of them being we are on a very small space with very limited resources. And we kind of have to go against that. So we have to find a way to go to the mainland. So I've had suggestions to build a tunnel. I've had suggestions to just place down a ladder. I've had suggestions to build a bridge. Just a simple thin bridge with many doors on it. And I want to be creative. I want to make something that looks really bloody good. So I decided to make one very big bridge. And I do have to say, keep in mind, this bridge is purely aesthetic. It doesn't work. It doesn't have many, tricks in it. It doesn't have many doors to keep the enemies away. It is just a bridge with two giant towers. And if we want to defend this, we actually have to station people in those towers and on the bridge to be able to stop any invading enemies. So, just like any build, I start very simple. I start with just making some lines, just making some blocks. And from those lines and from those blocks, I start carving out and carving in the bridge, the design that I want. And in this case, I just started with a single block just over the water, see what I can do from there. So, when I think of StoneHearth, I start thinking somewhat medieval. I try to make somewhat medieval builds, try to make somewhat medieval looking towns and stuff like that. Because I just really like the town. And when I think of a medieval bridge, I first of all think of like a stone bridge. But the same thing I think of is a arch. So basically what you do, you make several arches underneath the bridge that basically keep the bridge up. And do keep in mind, I am not entirely sure if this game will actually allow me to build this. I am pretty sure that when I actually will try and build this, the stone links or the hard links will probably just pass the fuck out. Anyway, I at first thought that the bridge itself was a bit bland. Looking at it itself was very bland and stuff like that. So I wanted to create some sort of design it. And what you just saw me do was reload the entire my quick save, for the sole reason that StoneHearth building, it's, even though it has been improved quite a lot already, it's still very bugged. At which being that sometimes you just can't delete a mistake you made, you can't revert, you can't, use the eraser or anything. It's really annoying. But yeah, the only way to help the problem is just to keep autosave on, like every 5 minutes, just keep autosave on, and it should be fine. And if it isn't on, then you're basically fucked. The only thing you can do at that point is just try and save the game and hope that the bug will basically be out of it the moment you reload the save. What I do is just keep the autosave on and just reload whenever I find that thing. I can lose up to, what, 5, maybe 10 minutes worth of progress, but it's not that much considering I put 2 hours into this build. Now, as I said before, I wanted to create some sort of pattern. I took out the most blood red color I could find because I really wanted to build some red into this building, into this entire castle actually. Like, I know that we have a lot of blue, we have got a lot of grey because of the colors of this team. I just want to add a lot of red because I really like red, in case you haven't noticed yet. An example of me using red would probably just my entire channel. Like, I use red and black as my main colors. Anyway, that aside, we are still working on the bridge, just finishing up a couple of things. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to go down underwater and add a couple of things there. So you see me starting building some kind of design under the water. And from there, I just keep on going. So another thing that I think of when I think medieval builds is those tips. Like when you got a castle, like just any castle, and you've got the walls, you'll see that they got little carvings that basically any arch you can take cover behind and go out of cover to shoot down. And I wanted that on the bridge. So I basically did that. Then the next thing I did is I thought that the outside, like the edges, the front and the back, were very empty. So I decided to go in there and make something. I didn't know what I was going to make. I just did something that I do a lot. I just grab my, like, the single block thing and I just start placing things. Like, oh yeah, this looks pretty. Oh yeah, this looks pretty. And something else that I already knew from the start I wanted. I wanted a bridge with 2 big towers and one hell of a thick gate. And the gate is just gonna be aesthetics. It's not going to work at all. It just has to look pretty, and that's what I wanted. So here you can see me start foundations of the towers. And as per usual, when I create these towers, I take out the Minecraft circle list that I've used many times before in literally any Let's build I've done. And I just start building. I just make it go up. I tried to make some sort of entrance in, some sort of door, but unfortunately that didn't quite work out. For some reason, doors have to need to be in a wall, like specifically a wall. And the wall has to be about 5 blocks width without, you know, the pillars at the sides. So that's a bit of a problem. So instead of actually placing in a door, I'm going into this later, and I'm going to add in a ladder to go into it from underground. So basically, what you saw me do in the last episode of this series is you saw me start building some sort of underground labyrinth, the mines. And those mines I eventually want to turn into some sort of dungeons and an underground tunnel system. So basically the idea behind it is that years and years ago, this castle was simply just nothing but a mine, and slowly they start building and building onto it. And at some point, one of the lords of Burly Hands, they decided like, hey, these old mines, we can use those to our advantage. We want those mines and we want to use them to create secret exits, secret passageways underground. So in case we get attacked, in case we get overrun, we can actually go about and we can go and leave without, you know, having to fight our way through it. So that's basically the idea. And with it, I want to connect all the, basically the castle defenses, so all the towers, all the walls, the castle, so I want to connect them all with each other using those old mines. Now what you can see me do here is connect the 2 towers. I want to make a little bit of a bridge between the 2 towers at a certain height. And from that bridge, basically I want to lower the gate. So the gate is not going to open inwards or outwards, it's going to go up and down. And it can't go that far, it can just go about just high enough. And that's the entire idea behind it. Now, here you can see me do something else. Something that I basically regretted the moment I finished it. So, you know that I normally build peaked rooftops because I really like how they look. And the moment I start building, I want to do the same, but I forgot basically that this is pretty high. You can see me go there and look at it like, yeah, no, this is not going to happen. Because frankly, what's going on? If you do a single block and then go in by a single block, then you can get really cool looking roofs, just not for tall buildings. Like if you want to make a pillar, like this in this case, you want to make a tower and you want to make a peak roof on the tower, you need to make the gap like 2 or 3 high before you go in one again. That way it will look much taller and will look much better. Now something else you should probably note is the insides of these towers, they are completely empty. After I finished the build, I tried to look into it and try like maybe I can do something here or there. I can't. I really can't. If I wanted to do something inside, I should have done that the moment I started building it. Unfortunately, that's not the case, so it will just be completely empty, which doesn't matter much because you can't really look into it from the outside. It is going to be nothing but literally, you've got the bottom floor, and that's all fun and games. Then you've got a ladder going up to the bridge level, and that's about it. And now you can see me basically build the second peaked roof. Now, yeah, so as I said before, I cannot press this enough. This is not a functional build. It is not going to be functional at all. It just has to look pretty, and that's basically how I like playing StoneHearth. It's also how I like playing Minecraft and basically any other game in which I can build. For example, The Sims. I like playing The Sims. I like playing the Minecraft. I like playing StoneHearth to just build things, to make things look pretty. And how bland this may look now, I do honestly believe that this will look very pretty. Now, here you can see me go about a bit with you know, windows. I just forgot the word window, don't know entirely why. But windows just don't work, they don't go in the middle, so I decided against it. And now here you can see me make that the gate. And as per usual, I make a wooden gate, because I think wooden gates looks pretty goddamn cool. Like, if I could make an iron gate, like for example with iron fences I normally do in Minecraft, I would do that. But here it doesn't work. I can't make an iron gate. So I just make a wooden gate that you can lower and raise a bit. Now, with the gate in place, it is a bit high and it's not going to be any higher. That's literally the maximum height you can go. And the idea behind this gate is that it is connected to the bit on top, the overpass, the overhang, or whatever you want to call the bridge, by some iron chains. And basically what you do, in order to raise it, you get 2 men on the top. They go to some kind of wheel, some kind of crank, whatever, and they just start turning it and slowly raise it up. And if they want to lower it, they just slam on top of it some kind of lever and it will just fall down again. That's basically the idea of it. So when it is down, you can literally see what you see now is the entire gate. When it falls down, you'll just have a gap with the iron chains on it. And it is both a weakness and a strength, because the weakness is you can shoot through it. You can shoot into the castle itself through that gap. But if they shoot through it and they break the chains, they can't raise the gate anymore, which is basically a strength. Now you see me go back to the gate again. Or not the gate, I mean the bridge. And basically what I wanted to do is, I was looking at the front and I was like, yeah, this is very bland. I'm not gonna enjoy this. And I know I've built this before, before I reloaded the save, but I just had to rebuild it again. So one thing else I want to do is, quite frankly, I looked at it and I was thinking, I want water in this. I want to make this look like some kind of fountain or something similar to it. And I just wanted to add water. And knowing this game, you can't actually place water. I just placed bluestone, well, blocks. And that basically creates the illusion of there being water. Once again, in any of my builds, you just have to think. You just have to make it. Use your imagination. Just use your imagination. Like, you could see what it is. You could see what I want to try and do. And because I'm very limited with the resources I have, this is the only thing I can do. Now, first of all, the things I did, I placed these stone pillars with the fire, the braziers on the bridge, because when it goes nighttime, it looks really cool. And I just really like things that look cool. And what you can see me do here, you can see me go into the towers, and you can see me try and make some sort of pattern on it. First, I tried this with the cross in the middle, and I just looked at it and was like, nah, I am not quite a fan of this. You can see me go around it, I believe, one more time. Yeah, you can see me do it here again. And I was just not a fan. I will go around a couple of times before I realized what I was doing wrong, and I tried something that looks entirely different. And in my opinion, it looks a lot better. I just don't know exactly when I'm gonna do it, because it literally has been 2 weeks since I built this. Yeah, that's also a thing. Like, it has been a long time since I last played this game, or well, at least last uploaded a video in this game. And the reason for that is, quite frankly, I have a full-time job currently. I'm still a student. But because I've got holidays now, I just went on a full-time job. Because otherwise I will just be bored at home, and I just don't want that to happen. And unfortunately, due to the full-time job, I work afternoons and evenings. So the only time I've got to record is at night and in the mornings. And in the mornings I sleep, and at night the rest of the house sleeps. So I've got very little time to go about and record. The only time I can actually do that is during the weekends. And now I also had to work on Saturday. So today, Sunday, is literally the only day I can go about and record stuff. And that's actually what I'm going to do today. I'm going to record a lot. But as you can look now, you can see me go about. You can see me look at the entire building. And do I change? Well, here you can see me add like holes so I can build up a bit. And do I change it again? I don't think I do. I think I'm happy with it now. So I did not change it at all. I'm an idiot. I did change the size. That was it. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to add the last few things on here, and that is the end of this build. So, as per usual, I hope you enjoyed. So, if you like it, please like, subscribe to everyone, and I'll see you next time.